This is the Classic Baseball Broadcast Network, where we believe there is nothing like hearing about history from those who lived it. Listen to our full catalog of broadcasts at classicbaseballbroadcast.com. If you enjoy the podcast, please help me out and do one of three things. Follow, subscribe this podcast, and leave a review. It really helps. Share us with your baseball friends. Let them know about us. Or jump over to members.thisdayinbaseball.com. Join our email list, community, and our family of baseball podcasts.
Here's Red Barber, way out to the mound. That's already number 16, showing on the back of his shirt. And here is Jimmy Dykes' batting order for the Indians. Astamati again leads off at second base. Mike Delahaz is at shortstop. Phillips at third has moved up to hit number 3. Power at first base bats 4. Back corner and left field hits 5th. Pearsall in center, who made a tremendous catch against Scourn in the 10th inning. Saved the ball game to that spot. Harvey Keene saw a left instep at all. He hit himself about 5:15 this afternoon with one of his own foul balls. Did not get in the first game. Keene has had the foot frozen and worked on, and he's going to start the second game. But they have dropped him down to hit 7. Wilson will catch the second game with hit 8. And Stigman, the pitcher, 1-5, lost 8. Against the league is 2-3 with New York. Now, for the Yankees, who pulled out one that they just simply had to have, with Baltimore winning its first game of the twilighter tonight, and the White Sox showing a 4-1 lead up to Boston halfway through it. Boyer leads off again at third. Kubek at short follows. Then comes Lopez in left field, whose base hit tied it out in the 8th inning. Mantle in center. Scourn at first base. Third is in right field, with the left-hander going for Cleveland. Howard is catching both ends. Richardson is second, and Whitey Ford, who is 9-7 and 3-0 against Cleveland, is ready to go. So the first hitter is in there. Ken Astromonte. Right-hand batter. Hitting .299. Ford gives him a quick little curve into the knees for a called strike. Astamati had one base hit, a double in the 5th inning. First game went 3 hours and 45 minutes. The time is called. First base umpire Charlie Berry finds an extra base. The groundkeeper had an extra base which they didn't use and inadvertently left it just in front of the fence back of first base. So Berry said, well, I don't want anybody trying to reach that base and think he's safe. Brett Kress is coaching down at first base. Luke Appleton at third. The pitch is a curve, low inside, ball 1. Appleton has come in here for the third straight time in third straight different uniform. The last time he was in, he was wearing the Detroit uniform before the switch of managers. Then he came right out back for Old Timers Day and had on his old White Sox uniform. Now he's in here with Cleveland wearing the Indian suit. Whitey pitches the letup outside for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. First hitter of game 2. The Yankees leading the season series against Cleveland now 11 games to 6. Pitches low inside, ball 3. 3-1. Single game, the White Sox at Boston. They end the 4 innings, and Chicago's leading 4-1. The Orioles won their first game from Kansas City tonight, 2-1, and at the end of 2 innings of the second, KC leads 1-0. There's a ball bounced over the mound, back of second, through to center field for a base hit for Astamati, and so the second game is joined. Single through the middle. First man up, first base hit, and we now have Mike Delahaz, who is playing some shortstop. He had a couple of brilliant plays. And in addition, he had a couple of base hits, a double and a single. He's a small right-hand hitter. Infield is tightened in against the bunt if that's the way Dykes wants to play it, and the batter tries to bunt and foul tips it back. Strike 1. Delahaz hitting at 269. See, we've got a fine crowd out here tonight, which should put the Yankees just about at the 1.25 million mark at home plate attendance. It's not just over that. Pitch is a change of pace, swung on, hit down to Richardson, who's up with it. Flips to Kubek. They got one. The throw to first. Double play. So those two young men get it started, and the Big Moose finishes it 4-6-3. So we have 2 out, nobody on. No score. And here is Bubba Phillips. He's moved up to hit in the number 3 spot. In the first game tonight, Phillips, who was hitting 7th, had a couple of singles and a base on ball. Bunts at the first pitch and fouls it across the third base line for a strike. The Indians here at 2 o'clock tomorrow for a doubleheader. The schedule originally called for this was a night game, a single, and a single game tomorrow. But, of course, we had rain out on a couple of occasions since Steve was in, including a Sunday doubleheader. This was the only place to put them. The outfield shades Phillips into left. Swings as a ground foul outside third to the third base coacher, Luke Appling. Old aches and pains makes him stop and throws the ball out to Whitey. 0-2. Rotation of the 4 umpires for the second game. Frank Humont is at the plate. Berry, who is a senior umpire in the league, is at first. Knapp at second and Stewart at third. There's a ball hit foul down in the left field seat. 0-2 still. The Yankees are still sitting in first place by 1 full game over the Orioles. At the moment, the Yankees are 2 games over Chicago. White Sox have a 3-run lead in the 5th inning. If they win their ball game, they would get the half game back. Then they would see what... There's a ball hit down toward the right field corner. There's Lopez over there and makes the catch. I think in giving you the lineup, I had Lopez in left field and Serve in right. Make that a switch. Lopez in right, Serve in left. 2, 1, 2, 3. No runs, 1 hit, thanks to the double play, nobody left. And the score at the end of half an inning of the second game, the Indians 0 and the Yankees coming to bat.
You know, not too many years ago, a lot of people had to draw their water by hand from an old-fashioned pump. Now, that's getting water the hard way. And you'd be surprised how even today some jobs are still being done the hard way. Like cleaning the carburetor of your car, for example. The hard way is to have an experienced mechanic take your carburetor apart and clean it by hand. But now there's an easy way. Atlantic Imperial gasoline actually cleans your carburetor as you drive. You see, its Atlantic Imperial flows through your carburetor. It loosens and dissolves harmful deposits that have formed on the inside walls, gradually washing them away. And what's more, Atlantic Imperial's protective action keeps them from forming again. Today, more and more people are using Atlantic Imperial gasoline. It's the gasoline that cleans your carburetor as you drive and keeps it clean.
Lost 8, and 2 and 3 with New York. Young Cletus Boyer, first set, hitting 253, followed by Kubek, then by Lopez. Ralph House coaching down at first base. Frank Truzetti at third. Wilson catching the second game. Romano caught the first one. Pitch is low, into the dirt and back to the stands, ball 1. Wilson got in the top of the 11th as a pinch hitter. And Arroyo got behind on him 3-0, and then wound up getting him to take a call third strike. And right there, the game turned. Pitch is strike, just under the shoulders, 1-1. That's just straight away on Boyer. Power at first base, Astomati at second. The shortstop is Mike Delahose, and the third baseman is Bubba Phillips. 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed. That was the fork ball. Stigman has one, and that one sank, and you could see it. It comes down with a little off of it as far as speed is concerned, and it drops. All right, 1-2. That corner in left. Pearsall in center, Keane in right. A sharp inside curve is swung on and missed, and it is strike 3, and he's out. So Stigman fans the first Yankee hitter in this no-score second game. Kubek hitting .283 gets in. When the Yankees won that ball game in the 11th inning, Casey Stengel had no longer any bench except a couple of pitchers. They were down just as thin as they could go, not an extra man to catch infield or outfield. Kubek cuts and misses on a slider, thrown hand high on the outside, strike 1. Doubleheader tomorrow goes off at 2 o'clock. Gates are open at 11. Tony swings a high outside pitch again, strike 2. And tomorrow's ball game, it will be Terry and Stafford. And Stafford is the young right-hander called up from Richmond. Hasn't pitched here at the stadium, and you folks who will come out will like what you see of him. Very composed young man with an excellent fastball. That's strike 3 swinging, a curveball, and Stigman starts off by striking out the first 2 Yankees. And here's Hector Lopez, got that big hit in the 8th inning. If he had not got the hit with 2 out and 2 strikes on him in the 8th, the Indians would have won the ball game in regulation time. Hector knocked in the 6th run, and so the status was established for Barrow to break it up with his home run first up in the last of the 11th. Lopez hitting .280. Curveball dropped in for a called strike. Nothing in 1. Strike 1 pitch is low inside. Ball 1-1. A strike. The left-hander delivers. There's the pork ball, and it is strike 2. He caught the outside with it. Lopez checking his swing, but Dumont raises that right hand and says, "That's it. 1-2." One ball, 2 strikes. Swung on, foul back. Still 1-2. Jimmy Dykes, the last time he was here, was the manager of Detroit. Now he comes back in managing Cleveland. And when Detroit gets in here Sunday for the doubleheader, Joe Gordon, last time here managing Cleveland, will be managing the Tigers. Score. Stigman ready, deals, says the ball swung on, hit down the right field corner, foul. 1-2. At the end of this inning, we'll run over the other games for you. One ball, 2 strikes. Outfield a step back into right on Lopez. Swings, and there's a high fly ball straight out to Pearsall. He's waiting under it. He has it. And there's nothing across. And at the end of an inning, it is Cleveland nothing and New York nothing. First game in 11 innings, 1 on Burrow's home run. Yankees 7-6. Now to look around, the White Sox, who had a 4-run second inning, have now had a 5-run fifth inning. And at the end of 6, it is Chicago 9 and Boston 1. Boom. Bauman, former Red Soxer, is pitching yesterday for Chicago. Wilson started, an old friend of yours and mine, Sturdivant, has come on to relieve in the 5th inning. Baltimore, with a run on the last of the night, beat Kansas City 2-1. Both starting pitchers went to root. Barber winning it and Garver losing it. And Baltimore has come up with 3 runs in the last of the 3rd, and at the end of 3.5 innings of the 2nd game, it is Baltimore 3 and Kansas City 2. Daly started, and Statulis is now pitching for Kansas City. Brown started, and it is Wilhelm now pitching for Baltimore. Washington has come up with a run in the last of the sixth inning to go one up over Detroit. At the end of six, it is Washington 5 and Detroit 4. That run in the sixth was Lemon's 30th home run. This afternoon in the National League, Philadelphia won at Chicago 4-2. The great veteran Robin Roberts pitched the root for the win. Tonight, single game and the 4 innings, the Cardinals 1 and the Pirates nothing. Broglio against Friend. Here's Big Power up. 4 pitches, low inside ball. First of a twilight doubleheader. At the end of 3.5 innings, Los Angeles 4, Cincinnati nothing. Milwaukee yet to start a single game at San Francisco. Power swings, fouls it off for a strike. It's 1-1. And the bulletin on the scoreboard, which is getting a tremendous hand, news that it just happened. Serve became father of 8th child, 5th girl tonight. And this is what the applause is for. The bulletin on the scoreboard, the applause is for the Serve family. The 8th child, a little girl. So we sure had a lot going on during this first game, didn't we? Foul ball back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. At the moment, Mr. Serve is out there in left field here at Yankee Stadium. Families out in Kansas City. Pitches, there's a foul back of the Yankee dugout. The pitch was low. Power just sort of took a half chop at it. Count holding 1-2. That field is straight away. There's a ground ball hit sharp into left center for a base hit for Power. And so the second inning has started. Single to left center. The first hit on the first inning got a base hit, but the next batter hit it on the ground to Richardson. A double play ensued. There's Tito Francona, who belted a home run into the right center field section of the bleachers and back of the 407-foot sign. He really teed off on it. The Yankees hit 5 home runs in the first game. And not a one of them had a man on. Francona takes the slider over for a called strike. Tito batting .295. He's on the upswing right now. Driving for 300 and to go above it. Just a second. Throw to first, nothing doing. We have just learned that Bob Serve found out about his 8th child and his 5th daughter between games of the doubleheader. There's a ball hit foul in the left field field. Mrs. Serve and the little girl Phyllis, 6 pounds and 5 ounces, are at St. Mary's Hospital, Kansas City. Power at first base and being careful not to stray off on Whitey, who has the best pickoff move in the league. Pitch to Francona is inside, and it is ball 1. 1-2. Tito swinging from the end. Most hitters do these days. Whitey checks the man at first, pitches, and Francona swings and misses. Ford gave him a sharp curve under the hand and struck him out. First strikeout for Whitey, and now a big hand for Pearsall, going back to his tremendous catch in deep left center field, 450 feet away in the 10th inning against the Moose. Whitey deals, and Pearsall swings and grounds it foul.
Speaking of between games activities out here this evening, the Polish Falcons of America presented Bill Scarn with a plaque designating him as the Polish Athlete of the Year. He was selected at the organization's 27th convention at Newark. And tomorrow between games, Scarn will be honored again by the Jersey Moose organization on Bill Scarn Day. Pitch is swung on and fouled by. Apparently somebody neglected to tell Pearsall that everybody is supposed to be kind to Bill Scarn tonight and tomorrow. Well, that Pearsall broke his heart. Scarn would, I know he appreciates that flag, but he'd give 12 of them if that ball had gone safe. If there's anything more important to a working ball player than a base hit, you tell me. 2-strike pitch is a half swing and a foul ball in the dirt. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. The ball did not, it was not a half swing. It hit the plate and bounced off Howard's glove. Pearsall checked his swing, and as the ball bounced away, Powell alertly went down to second base. So it is 1 ball and 2 strikes, and we now have, with 1 out, a runner at second base. A wild pitch towards to Whitey, of course, the ball in the dirt. It hit the plate. So that is a horse of a different color. Now the runner is at second. The 1-2 count at the plate. And Whitey throws back there. Richardson coming in. And the throw almost went off into center field. One ball, 2 strikes. Howard goes after the mound to check with Ford. Pearsall moving at bat back and forth. Pitch. Low. Howard came up with it. Ball 2. 2-2. Be very interested to see the attendance figures when they come in later tonight. Got a real crowd out here. The 2-2 pitch swung on as a high foul out of play in the stands back at first base. We have no score. Cleveland now has a threat going. Runner at second base, 1 out. Single. Wild pitch. Two Cleveland pitchers tomorrow will be Bell and Harshman. Change of pace is low. Ball 3-2. Terry and Stafford. It'll be the stadium debut for Bill Stafford. He's ready for it. All right, 3-2. Whitey being very careful. Deals. Low inside, it gets away from Howard. It's ball 4 for Pearsall, and Power goes on over to third base. So we have runners at first and third, and this one is towards the pass ball to Elson. A PB. Runners at first and third, 1 down. Now, wait a minute. This isn't Keene. This is Keogh. So I guess Keogh simply, Keene just simply can't go it on that left instep that he hit a foul ball down on during batting practice about 5:15. Checks his runners, pitches, and Keogh, left-hand hitter, takes the curve low outside, ball 1. The foot is, of course, painful to Keene, but it is also doubly painful to Manager Dyke. To have a 300 hitter such as Keene not able to go tonight, particularly against the left-hander, as is in the case of Whitey, and was in the case in the 11th inning with Arroyo relieving. A strike.
Got it above the knees on the outside. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. We have no score, and the Indians threatening. Keogh hitting .249. Plate umpire Umart orders the ball brought to him for inspection. He's checking it. Finds it's okay, returns it to the mound. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's it around toward right. They give Keogh the gap in left center. Infield double play depth. Pitch is good for a called second strike, just above the knees on the inside. That was Whitey's sinker. This is screwball, but the way it operates, Whitey's doesn't have the reverse twist on it. It just sinks. All right, 1-2. Chunky left-handed checks the runner's pitches. Keogh checks his swing on a curve low outside. Ball 2. 2-2. Howard catching both games. The left-hander going for Cleveland. Barra, who played right field and broke up the first game, was over in the dugout. No score. Ford is having to walk a tight wire right now. Keogh leans in. The pitch swung on as a ground ball to Skowron, foul. Just outside first base. Still, Pearsall returns to first to resume his lead at that point. The same for Power and third base. Holding count of 2-2. Balls, 2 strikes. Ford ready. So is Keogh at the plate. The pitch. Swung and missed. Strike 3. He threw it low inside. Second strikeout for Whitey, and this was a big one. This means now that no run can be scored as a result of an out. And the hitter is Red Wilson. He was given a chance to either break it up or tilt it very strongly Cleveland's way when he pinched it in the 11th with men on at first and second and 1 out. And he got to count 3-0 and wound up looking at a third one. Wilson hitting .218. He and Bridges left Detroit for Cleveland about a week before Dykes did. Runs up the line. The third baseman is deep. Ford pitches, and Wilson swings, hits the ball to left center field. There's Serve going over and makes the catch. So that is all for the threat. No runs, 1 hit. 2 men left. There were no errors in the score. End of an inning and a half of the second game. Cleveland nothing. New York nothing.
Say, where do you plan to go on your vacation? Or maybe you've taken it already. Well, those that still have that to look forward to. Some of them were going to go to historic places. I think I should have read this the way it started out. Well, others are partial to the mountains, and still others enjoy the seashore. Well, whatever your favorite might be, the chances are you'll be making the trip in the family car, and you want to be sure your car is in good condition. Now, the best way is to have your Atlantic dealer give your car a thorough safety service lubrication. This means a complete lubrication, complete because he follows the specifications set down by the car's manufacturer. And in addition, your Atlantic dealer checks the vital safety areas such as tires, battery, cooling system, muffler, and tailpipe. In short, he makes sure your car is ready for any trip. So, if you haven't already taken your vacation, before you head for that vacation, a weekend or even a day's trip, see your Atlantic dealer for a safety service lubrication to keep your car on the go. Now we'll pause for station identification. This
This is Quality Modern, WOKO 1460 on your dial in Albany, New York. The time is 25 minutes before 11 o'clock.
Mantle stepping in to be the first Yankee hitter last of the second inning of the second game. It is no score on the second one. The Yankees won the first in 11 innings on Burrow's home run, 7-6. Mantle also had a home run early in it. Takes the pitch high outside from left-hander Dick Stigman for ball one. Mickey hitting 274. Leads the majors and runs scored, 99. His home run in the first game marks the sixth consecutive year he's hit 30 or more in a season. Stigman gets pitch over above the knees on the outside for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Against the left-hander, Mantle is, of course, hitting right-handed. Pitch is low outside, ball 2. Of course, there's one record that Mickey holds nobody's even close to, and that is the most time switch hitting a home run from either side of the plate in the same game. Pitch is swung on as a ground ball, hit through in the center for a base hit. So Mantle opens up the last of the second with the first Yankee safety. Single through the middle. And he's on. Seven times has Mantle in his major league career hit in a game a home run batting right-handed and a home run batting left-handed. I think the next hitter in that line has 2 such occasions. Now we have the Moose. Right-hand batter. Takes the curve, low inside, ball 1. John hitting at 311. Pearsall robbed him in the 10th inning of a certain triple, at least a triple. In the 8th inning, Scoresheet started it off with a home run. That's when the Yankees came up with 3 to get the ball game tied. He earlier had a single. Takes the pitch inside, ball 2. Left-hander checks first, pitches. Scoresheet swings above a breaking ball, and it is strike 1. With a curve that darted under the knees. 2-1. Doubleheader tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Gates will be open at 11, and the same for Sunday. Starting time for the doubleheader with Detroit is 2, and the Gates at the Stadium open at 11. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. And it is 2-2. Broke the slider in there. They started out the season with Stigman relieving. Now they've got him starting. No score. Pitch is swung on, a bounce ball to short, maybe 2. Delahaw's over to second. Asomani on to first. It's 2. So each side now has a double play. This one was 6-4 to 3. And Bob Surd being given a round of applause. He got the happy news between games of the doubleheader that his 8th child safely arrived, his 5th daughter. Outfield deep, straight away, serve right-hand batter. Pitch is over for a strike, 0-1. Serve hitting 241. Now, let's see, Stigman, ran out on the field, which is always a sad thing to see. Time called. will be resumed in a moment. The spectator is now going off the field, and of course will be taken out of the ballpark. Sigmund taking advantage of the opportunity to throw a few additional warm-up pitches. Pitch to serve is swung on and hit right back to the mound. No, halfway to the mound. The catcher grabs it, throws to first, and serve is out. Wilson making a nice play. The ball was dying as it started to the mound. No runs, 1 hit, and the total to the end of 2 innings. Cleveland, no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. New York, no runs, 1 hit, and no errors. The first game was won in the 11th inning when Burrow led off with the second home run of the ball game, 7-6.
We just received a wire, which I wish we'd gotten considerably earlier, because I'm afraid a good many of the people affected by it will have perhaps gone to bed. But this is of particular interest to people in the Binghamton area. They received a wire from Joe Generelli in Binghamton announcing that the Generelli baseball excursion is going to leave Binghamton at the rather early hour of 4:13 tomorrow morning, and not at 6 a.m. as previously announced over the air. So in the event that you plan to make the trip tomorrow and know anybody else that you think might be in bed, you might annoy them a little bit if you called them, but if they really want to get down here tomorrow, they'll be a little late if they get up at 6 a.m. So the Generelli baseball excursion leaves Binghamton tomorrow at 4:13 in the morning instead of 6 o'clock. So good luck to all of you. I hope we won't have too many yawning Binghamtonians when they arrive tomorrow, but we hope that you get on the Generelli Express. 4:13 instead of 6 for the Generelli excursion from Binghamton. Dick Stigman leads off as we go into the top of the 3rd inning. No score, second game. Whitey studies him. Stigman is a good hitting pitcher, 7 for 26. Cuts the ground ball wide of third that Boyer intercepts, throws over to first, and Stigman is easily out. 1 pitch, 1 down. And the boy from Brooklyn, Ken Akramonte, singled through the middle in the first inning. He's now hitting .302. Outfield shades him into left. Whitey pitches over the outside, and it is a called strike. Threw the ball hard with his fastball. Boy off the bag at third. There's a slow curve low inside, ball 1. Sharon is up a step at first base. Richardson is a step back over towards second and deep. He's at the edge of the outfield grass. Kubek is playing a deep shortstop and straight away. Curve high outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Mantle has pulled in center. Pitch is low inside, a curve, ball 3. Grim one. Inside, ball 4, and Whitey walks him. So with 1 man out, he gives up his second base on balls. And we have Mike Delahose. We had to bring him up from Mobile when Woody Hell broke a finger.
And he has shown him a lot of shortstop. And hitting 279. 269. So the first, nothing doing. Infield in double play depth. Outfield straight away. Pitch high outside, and it is ball wide. Lopez has shortened up a step out and right. Mantle has shortened up an additional step in center. They don't figure this little fellow to hit it too far. Whitey pitches low inside, ball two. No score, one out here in the third inning of the second game. Swung on, and there's a drive out into left center. Mantle goes back, and it's over his head. He played in too short. And here is Astromonte scoring, and De La Rosa didn't think he could hit it that far. It's coming in a third for a triple. Well, we had hardly finished saying that they didn't figure the little man to hit that far, and they had shortened the outfield, and he hit it over Mantle's head. And Mickey had to retrieve the ball at the edge of the running track in front of the monument. A triple, and 1-0 Cleveland. Boom. Astromonte scores on a breeze. And the Indians step off with the first tally. And more than that, with one man out, they have De La Rosa at third base, and the batter is Bubba Phillips. A couple of hits in the first game. He's hitting 213. Infield is up for a play on the runner at third. A change of pace is swung on a fly ball to deep left. It'll get the run in. Serve is back under it. He makes the catch. And he doesn't even bother to throw to the plate. Wasn't any reason to. So it is 2-0 Cleveland. Sacrifice fly by Phillips gets in De La Rosa. A triple was a wicked piece of business. 2-0 Cleveland. That happened in a hurry, didn't it? And now we have Vic Powell, who singled to left center field in the second inning. Batting 298. Takes a call strike. Whitey's fast pitch was above the knees on the outside. 0-1. Strike one pitch. Curve swung on and missed. Strike two. The bulletin on the scoreboard here at the stadium. Pitching tomorrow. Yankees, Terry Stafford. Indians, Bell, Harshman. First game is 2 o'clock. Gates open at 11. Two-strike pitch. Swung on. There's another halfway back to the mound. Whitey has the ball. Get away from it. It had reverse English and scooted away from him as he grabbed it. Power is safely on at first base. And this is a ticklish one for the scorer. They give it a base hit. He nubbed that ball, and sometimes they sort of act like wiggle worms. And Whitey grabbed for the ball, and it just twisted away. The scoreboard flashes the hit sign, and some of the spectators, the unofficial scorers, boo a little bit, not realizing that that ball twisted away. And here is Tito Francona swinging and fouling this one on the ground, back over toward his own dugout. So a little grubworm single for Power. Hit number 4 for Cleveland. The Indians leading 2-0. The outfield is well swung into right on Francona. A curveball spins over for a call, second strike. Whitey came from by way of first base for that with a left-hand hitter up. Tito hitting 294. He was the Indians' man of the year last season. 2-0 Cleveland. Curve is reached for, foul back on the screen. Still 2 strikes. 0-2. As the ground ball hit the second baseman, Richardson takes on a big bounce. He could go either way. It goes to first to Schauer and for the third out. So for Cleveland, 2 runs on 2 hits. But the damage was done. A walk, a triple by De La Hoz. They had the outfield intercept too shallow. And then the sacrifice fly. Score, end up 2.5 innings, second game. Cleveland 2, New York nothing. Elston, who is catching both laps, accounted for the Yankees' first run when he hit the first of 5 Yankee home runs in the first game. That was his only hit. And all the home runs hit in the game, 6 of them went into the right center field area. Elston takes a pitch over for a called strike. Howard hit his in the Yankee bullpen, and the other 5 went into right center field bleachers. Outfield deep, straight away. Stigman delivers as they change the pace, hit out to left center. Pearsall coming on, he can't get to it. The ball is in for a base hit. So Howard starts off the last of the third with a single to left center. Hit number 2 for New York, and Bobby Richardson hitting 249. And double play depth with Cleveland leading 2-0. Curve is low inside, ball 1. Nobody out, last is the third. Stigman has excellent breaking stuff. Delivers, and Richardson swings above a curve. Strike 1, 1-1. Bell, who will go in 1 game tomorrow for Cleveland, throws very hard. Some people tell you he's as fast as anybody in the league, maybe faster. Hoshman is a veteran pitcher who has an excellent screwball, left-hander. 1-1 pitch, strike 2. He buzzed that one in across the inside, off the hand. 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Howard is at first. He's led off the last of this third with a single. Stigman delivers, and Richardson hits another foul across the third base line. I believe he hit above a fork ball. The end of 8 innings, the White Sox 9 and the Red Sox 2. The end of 5 innings of the second game, Baltimore 7, Kansas City 2. The Orioles won their first game. They're playing a doubleheader tonight. They won their first one 2-1. The White Sox game up at Boston is a single. At the end of 8, it is Washington 5, Detroit 4. Pitch. Swung on, fouled off again. Breaking ball around the knees. Still 1-2. End of 5 innings, first of a twilighter on the coast. Los Angeles 9 and Cincinnati nothing. Down to Pittsburgh in the single game, end of 6. Pittsburgh and St. Louis tied at 1-1. Milwaukee plays a single game later at San Francisco. A high pitch back to the stands. It's a wild pitch, and Howard goes right on down to second base. Wilson comes back and gets the ball, and Elston pulls up. You don't have to look at the score on that one. I just sailed higher than the catcher could reach. I'm not trying to usurp any of the scorer's prerogatives, but that ball didn't even touch ground till it hit the sand. Two balls, 2 strikes. Stigman his opportunity for a force play or a double play gone by wild pitch. Delivers. They change the pace high outside, ball 3. But into that one almost got away. 3 balls, 2 strikes. I have heard managers, coaches, pitchers say that the number one reason for wild pitches is a conscious effort to try and get too much on the ball. 3-2 pitch, swung on, hit down to second base. Astamani up with it over to first. Richardson is out. And Howard moves on to third. The importance of the wild pitch is that had that same ball been hit to the same direction, without the wild pitch, you'd have had a double play and an easy one. As it is, with the wild pitch in, you have only 1 out, and you have Howard over at third. And in a Cleveland 2-0 ball game, that is a big situation. 1 down, and the batter is Whitey Ford. Left-hand hitter, and very serious about his hitting. Infield halfway up, Howard at third. It is 2-0 Cleveland. Second game. The Yankees 11 innings took the first, 7-6. Pitch is high to Whitey and inside, ball 1. The Yankees came up with 3 runs in the 8th inning of the first game to tie it. And then in the last 11th, Mr. Berra hit his second home run of the night, and they went into the clubhouse. 1-0 pitch to Whitey. Swung on. There's a fly ball out to Pearsall and not too deep left center field. He makes the catch, and Howard bluffs his run up and then goes back. The throw is wide. Howard could have made it, but of course he didn't know it. Neither did Cozzetti. It looked funny to the fans because Wilson had to move about 20 feet off the plate to get Pearsall's throw. But Howard had stopped and gone back to third. Now, had anyone with extrasensory perception been able to have sent by spiritual communication word to Mr. Howard that the throw would have been wide, I'm certain he would have come right on. So when you start down off third on a short fly ball, you either go or you stop. So we have 2 out. The ball was not nearly deep enough for Howard to have scored on. And here is Boyle, who was struck out in the first inning. He's hitting 252. 2 down, the infield back. Outfield straight away. Howard at third, 2-0 Cleveland. Now it's 2 out, of course. Howard runs on anything. Pitch is high, a curveball, ball 1. One thing certain about having 2 men out, it makes base running very simple. Sigmund, big left-hander, delivers, and there's a ground ball hit wide of third. Phillips, a fine stop, throws over to first in the dirt, and Power comes up with it for the out. Well, it took a jump at third base and a pair of quick hands at first. And that's the bid. Boyer thrown out. That was a good play both at third and at first. No runs, 1 hit. Here are your totals at the end of 3. 2-4-0 for Cleveland, 0-2-0 for New York. And as we set the stage for the triumphant return of Mr. Rizzuto, we'll pause for station identification.
This is Quality Modern, WOKO, 1460 on your dial in Albany, New York. The time is 1 minute and 30 seconds before 11 o'clock.
Say, here's a personal invitation for all of you to be Atlantic television guests for the 1960 Olympics. The exciting and colorful games got underway today. Check your local television listings for the time and channel. Phil Rizzuto has taken over. As the Indians come to the plate in the top of the 4th inning, Cleveland leading 2-0. The Yankees won the first game in 11 innings, 7-6. Here's Little Phil.
Jimmy Pearsall, who walked in the second inning up against Whitey Ford.
Whitey's pitch, low, ball one. Here's the windup. Slow curve ball, line to right field, a base hit. Pearsall goes to the opposite field. And Jimmy's on with a single. Trying to draw a throw from Lopez, but he doesn't do it. He went quite a ways around first base. That's hit number 5 off Whitey Ford. And it brings up Marty Keough, who struck out in the second inning. Boy, the Yankees sure won a thriller in that first game. Gave this big crowd here tonight a thrill. Keough, left-hand hitter. Stretched by Whitey. Pearsall with a short lead off first. Scoresheet holding him on. The pitch to Keough is bunted out and missed. Strike one. Whitey threw him a sidearm curve, and Marty couldn't reach it. On deck is Red Wilson. Again, Whitey set. Throw to first base. Scoresheet started in and came back, but look at Pearsall laughing at him. Oh, he's a dandy. He had a very short lead anyway. Pearsall has 18 stolen bases, but doesn't look like he's going to try it against Whitey. Here's the stretch. Pitch bunted. Back to the box. Whitey up with it. Goes to second base. In time to get Pearsall. And Pearsall won't be laughing this time. That was a pretty good bunt, but Whitey charged off the mound, picked it up, and Elston Howard yelled second. Whitey wheeled around and fired to Kubek for the fourth play. Keough safe at first base. It's one away, and here's Red Wilson, who flied out to left field in the second inning. Cleveland 2 and the Yankees nothing. The Yankees won the first game 7-6 in 11 innings when Yogi Berra homered, leading off in the bottom of the 11th. His second home run of the night. Yankees had 5 home runs in that first ball game. Pitch to Wilson is pop foul down the right field line, strike one. Same two teams meet tomorrow afternoon, the big doubleheader. Might as well stay right here. Sleep up in the radio booth. Be ready for the game. Stretched by Whitey. Pitch is popped to right field. Hector Lopez moving back under it. Makes the catch. Keough hustles back to first base. That's two away, and will bring up the pitcher, Dick Stigman. Stigman, not a bad hitting pitcher. Came into this game batting .269. That's him right-handed. Two out. Keough leading off first base. 2-0 the Indians lead. Top of the fourth. Throw to first. Keough is back. White Sox beat Boston 9-2. Baltimore won the first game for doubleheader 2-1. They lead the second 7-2. There's the curve over. Strike one call. Washington beats Detroit 5-4. Boy, those Senators are red hot. The stretch and the pitch. Fastball is inside. 1-1. On deck, Ken Aspromonte. Whitey sits. Fastball is swung at and missed. Strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. Slow curve foul at the plate. touch by the left-hander. Fastball, strike 3, swinging. Whitey's third strikeout, and for Cleveland, in the top of the fourth, no runs, 1 hit, no Yankee errors, 1 man left. Score at the end of 3.5 innings, Cleveland 2 and the Yankees nothing.
Say, has your car been holding back on you, performing with less than its usual power? Well, your trouble could be a dirty carburetor, something that can happen to any car. So that's one reason you should be driving with Atlantic Imperial, the gasoline that cleans your carburetor as you drive. You see, as Atlantic Imperial flows through the carburetor, it loosens, dissolves, and gradually washes away carburetor deposits that can cause loss of power, frequent stalling, and gasoline waste. What's more, Atlantic Imperial's protective action keeps these deposits from forming again. Today, more and more people are using Atlantic Imperial, the gasoline that cleans your carburetor as you drive and keeps it clean.
In the bottom of the fourth, Tony Kubek, who struck out swinging in the first inning, leads off. Dick Stigman out on the mound. Tall left-hander with a live fastball and a sharp breaking curve. On deck, Hector Lopez. Here's the windup by the left-hander. Pitch to Kubek as a curve over, strike 1 called. Stigman ready again. Fastball popped in the air in the infield. Vic Parr is coming in, waving everybody away, and makes the catch, and he caught it two-handed. That's unusual. 1 away. Here's Hector Lopez, who flied to center field in the first inning. Stigman's first pitch to Lopez is right in there. Strike 1 called. Frank Umont calling balls and strikes in the second ball game. The 1-strike pitch. Screwball bounces in front of home plate. 1-1. On deck, Mickey Mantle. Pearsall's giving the crowd a thrill out there in center field. Kidding with the fans in the bleachers. The 1-1 pitch is check swing foul back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One out, nobody on. 2-0 Cleveland leads. Foul, look out, right on top of the Yankee dugout. Count holds at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the windup by Stigman. Fastball is low, 2-2. Pearsall's walking back and forth out in center field, yelling back to the crowd in the bleachers. Everything he does, the crowd roars. He's a dandy. The 2-2 pitch. Curve, a little high, ball 3. 3-2. Look at Pearsall yelling out there. He thought that pitch was a strike. Jimmy likes a big crowd outside him. Here's the payoff pitch. Base hit down the left field line. And there's Lopez going into second base, and he'll go in with a stand-up double. Just inside of third. Third hit off Sigmund. Here's Mickey Mantle. Mickey singled to center field in the second inning. Mick had a home run in the first game. All the Yankees are up on the steps of the dugout looking at Pearsall. Now Pearsall moves back a little bit. He kind of forgot that Mantle was the hitter. Sets. Pitch to Mantle is a curve high, ball 1. One out. The stretch, and the pitch is over. Strike 1 called, 1-1. Skowron on deck. The 1-1 pitch, just outside, ball 2, 2-1. Pearsall is umpiring from center field, and now Umont wants Pearsall to stop it. On that pitch, which was close, Pearsall waved both arms at Frank Umont. Here comes Jimmy Dykes out. Umont started to walk out towards center field and telling Pearsall to stop it. And now Jimmy Dykes talking with Frank Umont. Two balls, 1 strike, 1 out. The hand for Jimmy Dykes. Set. Pitch to Mantle, a curve outside. Ball 3, 3-1. Pitch, high, ball 4. There's the first walk given up by Sigmund. Mantle walks. Lopez is at second. 1 out. Here's Bill Skowron, who bounced into a double play in the second inning. Checks the sign from Red Wilson. Goes into the stretch position. Pitch to Skowron is hit on the ground. Foul outside of third. Rolling down the left field corner. 1 strike on the Moose. stretch. The pitch is high, ball 1, 1-1. Red Wilson rubs up the ball before throwing it back to the pitcher. Stigman ready for the 1-1 delivery. It's high, ball 2, 2 mark. Hector Lopez leading off second, Mantle off first. Here's the stretch. The pitch is right in there, strike 2. Looks like Moose wasn't quite ready for that pitch. 2-2 the count. Looked like Stigman quick pitched him. Stigman leaning over, getting the sign. Now he's ready. The 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 swinging went after a high fastball. Didn't get it. Third strikeout for Stigman. And it brings up Bob Serve, who bounced out in front of the plate, thrown out by the catcher. Two out, 2 on. Cleveland 2, Yankees nothing. Bottom of the 4th inning. Yankees won the first game 7, 6, and 11 innings. Here's the official paid attendance, 56,508. The total, including servicemen, 57,528. Curve is high outside. One ball, no strikes on serve. To serve is line to right field, and there's a home run for Bob Serve, and the Yankees lead 3-2. So Bob Serve, who got the happy news tonight that his wife presented him with their 8th child, a baby girl. They have 5 girls and 3 boys. Comes through with a home run, his 13th of the year. And the Yankees lead 3-2 with 2 on and 2 out. Serve slice one just inside the foul pole. Howard takes the pitch high, ball 1. The home runs have paid off for the Yankees tonight. That's what won the first game, and that's what's given them the lead here in the second game. Howard swings and lines one to deep left field, and Francona makes a running catch in left center field. Howard hit that right on the nose. For the Yankees in the bottom of the 4th, 3 runs, 2 base hits, no Indian errors, nobody left in the score at the end of 4 full innings. The Yankees 3 and the Indians 2. Now, I'd like to mention that the second half of this game is being brought to you by Ballantine Ale, the only ale that gives you the big taste that comes from Brewers Gold. Try a Ballantine Ale. It's the genuine. On the scoreboard, White Sox beat Boston 9-2, Bauman the winner, Wilson the loser. No homers in that game. Baltimore took the first of 2 from Kansas City, 2-1, Barber the winner, Garver the loser. No homers. In the second game, it's Baltimore 7, Kansas City 3 at the end of 5.5. Woodling homered in the 5th. Wilhelm relieved Brown in the 4th. Davis in there now for Kansas City. Washington beat Detroit 5-4. Ramos the winner, Bunning the loser. Jim Lemon homered in the 6th. His 30th homer of the year with nobody on. And that proved to be the winning run. It held up. This afternoon in the National League, the Phillies beat the Cubs 4-2. Roberts the winner, Anderson the loser. Walls homered in the 6th with 2 on. Callison the 8th with nobody on. Cardinals are leading the Pirates 3-1 at the end of 7.5. Friend against Brolio. Stan Musial homered in the 7th with 1 on to put the Cards in the lead. The Dodgers are leading Cincinnati 9-0 at the end of 7. Osteen against Craig. Locker homered in the 3rd with 2 on. And Milwaukee at San Francisco. Spahn against Miranda. Spahn going for his 283rd win of his Major League career. Ken Aspromonte, who singled a center and walked and has scored a run leading off. We're in the top of the 5th. Pitch to Aspromonte. Outside, ball 1. So the Yankees jump out ahead now. 3-2. Fastball hit deep to left field. That ball is hit the foul pole. A home run for Ken Aspromonte. Aspromonte hits the foul pole for a home run. His 7th homer of the year. And it's tied up once again, 3-3. Didn't take the Indians long. Man, a home run has been a potent weapon for both teams tonight. 3-3 the score. Here's Mike Delahose hit into a double play and triple to deep center. Takes the pitch high, ball 1. He tripled way over Mantle's head. The ball rolled out to the flagpole. The 1-0 pitch is low, ball 2, 2-0. So we've got a brand new ball game here in the top of the 5th inning. Boy, you think the fans haven't had their money's worth tonight. The 2-0 pitch. In there, strike 1 call. Man, we've got a doubleheader tomorrow and a doubleheader Sunday. And one Wednesday, Pappy informed me. Slow curve low. Ball 3, 3-1. That's against Kansas City. It's a makeup doubleheader. Oh, boy, what baseball here at Yankee Stadium. Bubba Phillips on deck. The 3-1 pitch. Strike call, 3-2. Delahose drove in a run with a triple and then scored on a sacrifice fly by Bubba Phillips. Payoff pitch. Line to left field, a base hit, maybe extra bases. In the corner, rolling around and serve. Comes up with the ball, and Delahose is on with a double. That's the 3rd extra base hit for Delahose in this doubleheader. He had a double in the first game and a triple and a double in this game. Still nobody out. Howard out to the mound talking with Whitey Ford. That was hit number 7 off Whitey. Brings up Bubba Phillips, fly to right, and hit a sacrifice fly to drive in a run in the 3rd inning. Vic Power is on deck. Howard still talking with Ford out there, and Ellie looks in towards the Yankee dugout. 3-3 the score. Delahose at second, nobody out. And now Vic Power is talking with Frank Umont. Umont is walking over towards the Indian bench, and Jimmy Dykes gets up, and let's see who he wants to talk with. Frank Umont is over in front of the Indian bench. Wilson, the catcher, is up. Boy, you think Umont's not mad. You ought to see the way he's walking with his jaw sticking out. Boy, he is hot. I tell you, any more noise from that Indian bench, and he's going to run somebody, boy. And he's out of there. Somebody's out. Let's see who Dykes is coming out to argue now with Frank Umont. Umont has thrown somebody out of the game. I don't believe it's Jimmy Pearsall this time. We don't know whether Dykes was thrown out or who. Umont just walked towards the bench and threw his right arm out and said, "You're out of the game." The same crew had trouble with the White Sox. Larry Knapp threw Al Lopez out of the game. Jimmy Dykes is trying his best to explain something to Umont, but Umont has already given a signal for somebody to leave the premises. As soon as we find out who it was, we'll let you know. The natives are restless tonight. Boy, they've been escorting a lot of fans out of the park, I tell you. See if Jimmy Dykes gets his favorite spot in the corner of the dugout, or whether he has been thrown out of the game, or just who has been thrown out. But now we're ready to go. There's action on the field and off the field, all over the park. Bubba Phillips steps in and we're ready to play ball. Delahoe's at second. The score is tied 3-3. Nobody out. Pitch to Phillips is hit. Base hit in the left field, and Delahoe's is going to score. And Phillips is trying for two to throw to second. Not in time. He's got a double. And the Indians lead 4-3. Bubba Phillips drives in his second run of the ball game. As Cletus Boyer lunged at the ball, slowed it down as he tried to backhand it. It rolled into short left field. Before Serve could fire it to second, Phillips was in with a double. Delahoe scored, and here comes Casey Stengel. Casey Stengel coming out of the Yankee dugout. What a night tonight. That first game was enough to have everybody satisfied, but this second game is a replica of the first game. Casey's out on the mound with Howard and Ford. Casey's looking out to the bullpen, and he's signaling for somebody. He wants somebody out of the bullpen, so that's all for Whitey. Whitey has gone 4 innings plus. Didn't get anybody out here in the fifth as he gave up a homer and 2 doubles. He allowed 8 base hits, walked 2, struck out 3, has allowed 4 runs so far. Bubba Phillips at second is Whitey's responsibility should he score. First game won 11 innings before Yogi Berra broke it up with his second home run of the night. Right now, the Indians are leading the Yankees 4-3. We're in the top of the 5th inning. There's nobody out. Bubba Phillips is down at second base, and the batter is Vic Power, who was 2 for 2, single to center, and beat out a single back to the box. On deck is Tito Francona. All right, Duran ready. Checks the sign from Howard. Duran with a big stretch over his head. The pitch is popped to right field. Phillips is tagging up. Lopez under it, makes the catch. There goes Phillips to third base, and he's going to make it. So Bubba Phillips moves over to third on the long fly to right field by Vic Power, and it brings up Tito Francona. Francona struck out and bounced to second base. And on deck is Jimmy Pearsall. One away. Duran's pitch to Francona is a ground ball to Skowron. He holds Phillips at third. And chasing Francona, he tags him, and Phillips holds at third. Nice play by the Moose. Francona broke his bat on that ground ball right at Skowron. Skowron bluffed Phillips back and guarded first base so that Francona could not get by him. And it's 2 out, and here's Jimmy Pearsall. Pearsall has walked and singled, batting .298. 2 out, runner at third base. And you got to look for anything with Pearsall out there. He might try and beat out a bunt. But Duran cautions Boyer, and Boyer comes in a few steps. On deck, Monty Keough. First pitch to Pearsall. Inside, ball 1. Phillips leading off third. Here's the windup. Pitch, almost a wild pitch. Nice play by Howard as he backhanded one out of the dirt. And Howard uses that catcher's glove like a first baseman's mitt. He can scoop him up one-handed out of the dirt. 2-0 on Pearsall. Duran trying to put a little extra on his fastball is losing the plate. Here's the windup. Pitch inside, ball 3. Brushed Pearsall back a little bit. Crowd gets a big kick out of anything Pearsall does. Three or nothing. Here's a 3-0 pitch. Inside, ball 4. Pearsall walks. First walk given up by Duran. Runners at first and third, 2 out. Here's Monty Keough, struck out and hit back to the box. Look at Pearsall jumping up and down at first. He's going to try and bother Duran. Jimmy has 18 stolen bases on the year. Dancing off first base. Fans are yelling, go, go, go. Look at him jumping up and down. The pitch is in there, strike 1 call. Pearsall picked up a little dirt, put some in each hand. Here's the stretch. The pitch is hit on the ground foul outside of first. Jimmy bluffed going that time. Took about 3 quick steps and stopped. 0-2 on Keough. 4-3, Cleveland leads. Top of the 5th. 2 out, runners at first and third. Jimmy dances off first. The pitch way outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Red Wilson on deck. The pitch. Here's a wild pitch or a pass ball, and a run's going to score. Pearsall goes to second. Phillips scores. The ball hit off Howard's glove. It was a breaking pitch. It's a wild pitch charged to Ryan Duran. on his charge to Whitey's forward. A tough break. It's now 5-3 in favor of Cleveland. Pearsall down at second. 2-2 count on Keogh. That ball seemed to explode as it got near the batter. Howard lunged to his right for it. It hit off the end of his glove and rolled back to the screen. Here's the stretch. The pitch. Strike three swinging. So the wild pitch gives Cleveland another run. They pick up 3 runs here in the top of the 5th inning on 3 base hits. No Yankee errors and 1 man left. And the score at the end of 4.5 innings, Cleveland 5 and the Yankees 3. In the bottom of the 5th inning, the Yankees have Bobby Richardson leading off. Bobby bounced to second base in the 3rd inning. Dick Stigman out on the mound for the Indians. Yankees won the first game 7-6. In 11 innings, by the way. Stigman sends in a pitch outside, ball 1. Dick had a lot of rest there in that top of the 5th inning. A long top of the 5th. The 1-0 pitch, inside, ball 2. On both those pitches, Richardson bluffed bunting. The 2-0 pitch is low, ball 3. Again, Bobby bluffed a bunt. So Stigman might have cooled off a little bit. We'll wait and see. Doesn't do a pitcher too much good to sit around the dugout. The 3-0 pitch. Strike called. Fastball right down the middle. He just laid that one in there. Nothing on it. The 3-1 pitch. Low, ball 4. Richardson walks. Second walk given up by Stigman. And let's see who's coming out. Ryan Duran's coming out. He's going to bat. Casey saving his pinch hitters for later in the game. They really came through in that first game. 4 pinch hits, which tied the American League record, by the way. Bubba Phillips is way in at third. Boy, is he in. Big Power holding first against Richardson. The pitch is bunted in front of the plate. And Red Wilson to the second baseman covering. Nobody covering third, and Richardson goes in at third. A heads-up play by Bobby Richardson. Bubba Phillips came charging in from third. Red Wilson picked up the ball, and he and Phillips collided. Wilson threw to first, and Phillips did not regain himself and get back to third in time, and Richardson kept right on going around the third. That's what you call a sacrifice. From 2 to 4, from the catcher to the second baseman covering. And Bobby's better in the third and didn't even have to slide. 1 out. Here's Cletus Boyle. Struck out and bounced to third. The infield is playing in for a possible play at the plate, with the Indians leading 5-3 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Pitch to Boyer. Hit in the air to fairly deep right field. Richardson sagging. Here's the catch. Here's the throw to the plate. Richardson's coming. He flies and he's in there. Keogh's throw was off from home plate. If it had been a good throw, they'd have had Richardson. It was not hit too deep. It goes as a sacrifice fly. An RBI for Boyer, scoring Richardson. So the heads-up play by Bobby Richardson gives the Yankees a run here in the bottom of the fifth. And it's now a 5-4 ball game, and the batter is Tony Kubek. So Bobby was coming in all the way. Two out, nobody on. Bigman's pitch is on the outside corner for a called strike. Ball popped into short left field. Francona coming in. Delahoe's calling for it and makes the catch in short left field. A lot of range, that youngster. For the Yankees in the bottom of the fifth, one run without the benefit of a base hit. No Indian errors and nobody left. The score at the end of 5 full innings, Cleveland has 5 runs on 8 hits, no errors. The Yankees 4 runs, 4 hits, and no errors. On the scoreboard, the White Sox beat Boston 9-2. Baltimore took the first of 2 from Kansas City 2-1. In the second game, it's Baltimore 10, Kansas City 3 at the end of 7.5. Washington beat Detroit 5-4. In the National League, the Phillies beat the Cubs 4-2. Cardinals beat the Pirates 3-1 as Brolio bested friend again. Musical's home in the 7th with 1 on, won it. The Dodgers defeated Cincinnati 10-1 in the first of 2. And Milwaukee's at San Francisco. It's 0-0 at the end of 1 inning. And we've got another thriller going here in this second game at Yankee Stadium. Just the first one wasn't enough to give you the shakes a little bit. This one looks like a duplicate of the first game. In the top of the 6th inning, Red Wilson will be leading off. Be followed by Dick Stigman and then Ken Aspromonte. Ryan Duran is out on the mound. Took over for Whitey Ford. Pitch is over. Strike 1 call to Wilson. Another windup. Slow curve is inside. Ball 1, 1-1. The 1-1 delivery. Inside, ball 2. 2-1. Breaking out all over the stand. And race is close enough. Fans are getting excited. The 2-2 delivery. Low outside, ball 3. Full count. Red Wilson. There's the pitch, a foul tip.
Bounced off Frank Uman's chest protector, rolled all the way down to third base. New ball thrown out to Ryan Duran. Count holds at 3-2. The 3-2 delivery. High inside, ball 4, almost hit him. Second more given up by Duran. Wilson goes down to first. Time is called by Bill Scoresheet as he goes in to talk with Duran. Dick Stigman, the batter. Stigman bounced to third and was called out on strike. Way in at third. Wilson leads off first. Here's the stretch. The pitch, it hit Stigman. Oh, it hit him right in the chest. Oh, that hurt. Hit him right in the chest. A high inside fastball. Stigman had squared around to bunt that ball. Box, the Cleveland trainer, is out there with Stigman. Red Crest and Luke Appling also out there. Elston Howard looking on. He was really hit hard and hit the dirt. And no matter where you get hit with a baseball, you get the wind knocked out of you. But Stigman's getting up. Oh, man. Dick Stigman couldn't have got hit any more solid with a baseball than he was hit right then. Was not at his head, though. Thank goodness for that. The way Duran throws that ball, a helmet won't help much. Stigman putting on his warm-up jacket. And he's going down to first base. Well, he'll have Joe Cronin's signature on his chest from the baseball. Some of the stitches. Brings up Ken Aspromonte, who's had quite a night. He singled, walked, and homered. And now Skowron comes way in at first base. Boyer playing in at third. Runners at first and second with nobody out. Cleveland leads 5-4. Here's the stretch. The pitch. High inside, ball 1. Now Howard asks for time and goes out to the mound. And Skowron talking things over between first and second. Howard now coming back to his catching position. One ball, no strikes on Ken Aspromonte. Stretch by Duran. Pitch high inside, ball 2. He almost hit Aspromonte. Bit of trouble locating home plate. He's trying to throw the ball hard enough so that if Aspromonte does attempt to bunt, he'll pop it up. And here comes Casey Stengels. Casey Stengels coming out to the mound. Duran walks walked Wilson and then hit Dick Sigmund. And he has a 2-ball, no-strike count on Astromonte. Signaling for a new pitcher. That's all for Duran. Ryan pitched just 1 inning. Didn't get anybody out here in the 6th inning. He didn't allow any hits, but he walked 2, hit a man. And Sigmund is running in from first base now, going in the Cleveland dugout, probably getting a little bit of first aid. And Jim Coates is being called in for the 2nd time tonight. Coates pitched in the first ball game, pitched 2 innings, gave up 1 hit, walked 3, struck out 1, allowed 1 run. So in the rule book, it said if when pitches are changed, the count is 2 balls and no strikes, and the batter gets a base on ball, charge that batter and the base on ball to the preceding pitcher, not to the relief pitcher. In other words, if Coates should walk Astromonte, the walk will be charged to Ryan Duran. And that also goes if there's a count of 2 balls and 1 strike, 3 balls, no strike, 3 balls, 1 strike, or 3 balls and 2 strikes. The preceding pitcher will be charged with a base on ball should the man walk. Coates is making his This is his 26th appearance of the year for Jim Coates. He's won 9 and lost 3. So Duran leads. To review briefly the first game, which the Yankees won, one of the most thrilling games we've witnessed all year. The Yankees won it 7-6. Howard, Mantle, Skowron homered, and then Yogi Berra, who had 2 homers, hit his 2nd homer leading off the bottom of the 11th to win the ball game. For Cleveland, Tito Francona had a home run, and the balls were really traveling. 4 of the home runs were hit into the bleachers. Dick Sigmund comes out of the Cleveland dugout. And right now, while Coates is loosening up, we'll pause for station identification.
WOKO, Albany.
Astromonte steps back into the box. He has a 2-0 count on him. Skowron in at first, Boyer in at third. Here's the stretch. The pitch is in there, strike 1 call, and Skowron was no more than 10 feet from home plate when Coates delivered the ball. Now Boyer asks for time and comes over to talk with Coates. Boy, we've had more huddles tonight. These are important ball games, though. And it doesn't hurt one bit to go in and talk things over. 2 balls, 1 strike. Fred Wilson at second, Dick Sigmund at first. The stretch. The pitch is bunted foul. Astromonte is moving around a little too much when he attempts to bunt. He does not stand still. He attempted to sacrifice in the first game. Popped out to Bill Skowron in the 11th inning. Was almost running at the ball when he bunted it right up in the air. Now it's a 2-2 count. Astromonte has a single, a walk, and a home run. His home run hit the left field foul pole. The stretch. The pitch. He popped it up in back of the plate. Elston Howard's coming back. He's got the room and makes the catch. So Jim Coates comes on to get Astromonte, who had a 2-0 count on him, to foul out to Howard. And it brings up Mike Delahoe, who's hit into a double play, triple to deep center and double to left field. He's driven in a run and scored a run. Runners at first and second with one out. Pitch to De La Hoz is hit on the ground. Skowron up with it at first base, goes to second in time for one. No chance for the double play. They get Stigman on the fourth play as Skowron flips to Kubek. Moving to third is Wilson. Safe at first, De La Hoz. And here's Bubba Phillips. Phillips fly to right, hit a sacrifice fly to left, and double to left. He's driven in 2 runs. 2 out, runners at first and third. 5-4, the Indians are leading this second ball game. And it is now midnight. From here on in, it's Bill Skowron Day at Yankee Stadium. Here's the stretch. Pitch popped in the air. Bobby Richardson under it and makes the catch. So Jim Coates does a fine job of relief pitching to get out of the jam in the top of the 6th. No runs, no hits, no Yankee errors. 2 men left to score at the end of 5.5 innings. Cleveland 5 and the Yankees 4.
During the summer weekends ahead, a lot of you folks will be planning cookouts, picnics, enjoying all sorts of good food out of doors. And as any good cook knows, it's important that you take along the right drink to give extra zest to your food. And that's why we recommend a refreshing, deeply satisfying Ballantine Ale. The drink that's brewed for you to enjoy anytime, but especially at mealtime. The only drink that gives you the big, big taste that comes from Brewer's Gold. Now, this is a rare strain of hops used exclusively in Ballantine's own true ale recipe. You'll find Brewer's Gold makes Ballantine Ale more than a thirst quencher, different than any beer. So get Ballantine Ale in those handy 6-packs, quarts, or the regular 12-ounce bottle, and discover what a difference an ale makes.
In the bottom of the 6th inning, Hector Lopez, Mickey Mantle, and Bill Skowron will be facing Dick Stigman. Hector fly to center field, double to left field. He scored 1 run. In the first game, Lopez came up with a clutch double with 2 out, driving in the tying run of the ball game in the 8th inning. All right, Dick Stigman out on the mound. Pitch to Lopez is a curve that's low, ball 1. Fastball low, ball 2, 2-0. 5-4, the Indians lead, bottom of the 6th. Nothing pitch inside, ball 3. Nothing pitch inside, ball 4. That's the 3rd walk given up by Stigman, and his previous 2 walks resulted in runs being scored. He walked Mantle in the 4th inning, and Mickey scored ahead of Sturz Holman. And he walked Richardson in the 5th inning, and Bobby scored on a sacrifice fly by Boyer. The walks have been costly to the left-hander. Here's Mantle, singled and walked. Vic Power holding first against Lopez. The stretch, the pitch is a curve in the dirt, ball 1. Pitch to Mickey, inside, ball 2, 2-0. Nothing pitch. High, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Nothing pitch. In there, strike one called. First strike that Stigman has thrown in 8 pitches. Nobody out. Lopez at first. Hop foul back and out of play in the upper deck. Count on Mickey. Stigman stretches, ready for the payoff pitch. Here it is, and it's high for ball 4. He lost him. Lopez goes down to second base. Mantle at first, and here's Bill Skowron. The Moose hit into a double play and struck out. The Indians lead 5-4, but the Yankees are threatening. Here comes Luke Appling out of the Indian dugout. Appling running the team since Jimmy Dykes was ejected from the game. Remember, Dick Stigman was hit in the chest by Ryan Duran's fastball. Let's see what Appling's going to do. Asking Stigman how he feels. Luke looking out towards the bullpen. Talking with Red Wilson, the catcher. Frank Umont coming out now. And it looks like that's going to be all for Stigman. Somebody coming out of the Indian bullpen. Mudcat Grant coming in. Grant will take over for Stigman. Stigman pitched 5 innings plus. Didn't get anybody out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Allowed only 4 base hits, but he walked 4, struck out 3, and has allowed 4 runs so far. Stigman leads. And Mudcat's coming on. Jim making his 29th appearance of the year. He's won 8 and lost 5. 6'1", 184 pounds from Lacucci, Florida. Right-hand pitcher. He'll be taking over with runners at first and second, nobody out. And Bill Skowron, the batter, trying to protect Stigman's 1-run lead. Jim Coates came on with the same situation, runners at first and second, nobody out, and got out of the inning. In the first game, the Indians used 3 pitchers: Perry, Clipstein, and Locke. Locke was the loser. The Yankees used 4 pitchers in the first game: Shirley, Coates, Martz, and Arroyo. In the second game, the Yankees have used 3 so far: Ford, Duran, and Coates again. Grant has a brother in the Cleveland organization who's supposed to be an outstanding ball player. And he's got a nickname for rival Mudcats. I don't know whether it's catfish or swamp water or something like that, but Frank Lane likes to give colorful nicknames to his ball players. Anything to help the attendance. Grant completes his warm-up tosses. Skowron steps in. 5-4, the Indians are leading. Mantle was in getting a drink of water, and Grant was just about ready to pitch. That would have been a dandy. Hector Lopez is at second base. The stretch, the pitch to Skowron, outside, ball one. Fouled out of play. 1-1. Looks like a big balloon floating in back of Jimmy Pearsall. He hasn't seen it yet. And now Larry Knapp looks out and sees it. Pearsall finally sees it. Turns around. Steps on it and breaks it. Very nonchalantly. 1-1 the count. Look down at Frank Crissetti for a quick sign. Nobody out here with runners at first and second. The Yankees trailing by 1 run. Pitch to Skowron. A ground ball to second base. Aspromonte to De La Hoz for 1. Back to first. Not in time for the double play as Mantle came in there real fast and De La Hoz had a leap to get out of his way. And you can thank Mantle for breaking up that double play. Boy, he got down there in a hurry even though the ball was hit hard. De La Hoz was not hit by Mantle's slide, but he was in a hurry to get away from Mickey and threw low to first base. Perfect double play ball. But they only get the fourth play from second to short. Moving to third is Lopez. Safe at first, Skowron, and here's Bob Cerv, whose 3-run homer in the fourth inning put the Yankees ahead briefly. Bob 1 for 2 in this ball game. Infield back in double play depth. Stretched by Grant. Pitch to Cerv. It's strike one. A swing and a miss at a high fastball. One strike on Cerv. Curveball pop foul and coming back out of play. Back into the lower box seat. 0-2 on Cerv. Stretch, 2-strike pitch, low outside. That was a tricky move by Grant. Old Satchel Paige style of delivery. Steps towards first base through sidearm. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. 5-4 Cleveland lead. Pitch is a little bit high, ball 2, 2-2. Into the stretch position. Pitch is a little bit low, ball 3, full count. 3-2. See if Moose will be running to keep out of the possible double play with a 3-2 count and 1 out. Cerv steps out of the box. Again looks down at Crissetti. the dirt, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Three men on, one out. Here's Elston Howard. Howard singled and fly to left field. Wilson out to talk with Grant. Humont dusts off home plate. On deck, Bobby Richardson. Cleveland leads. Yankees won the first game 7-6 in 11 innings. Elston Howard steps into the batter's box. Here's the windup by Grant. Pitch to Howard is a ground ball to third. He steps on third. Throws to first. Double play, and they get out of the inning. Howard hit a hard ground ball right to Bubba Phillips at third base. He stepped on the bag and fired to Vic Power for the double play. So, for the Yankees in the bottom of the sixth, no runs, no base hits, no Indian errors, and 2 men left on base. The score at the end of 6 full innings, Cleveland 5 and the Yankees 4. Well, on the scoreboard in the American League, the White Sox beat the Red Sox 9-2, Bauman the winner, Wilson the loser. Baltimore took 2 from Kansas City, 2-1 in the first game, Barber the winner, Garber the loser, and 11-3 in the second game. Wilhelm released the winner, Daly the loser, Woodling homer. Washington beat Detroit 5-4, Ramos the winner, Bunning the loser, Jim Lemon homer in the sixth, his 30th of the year. In the National League, the Phillies took the Cubs 4-2, Roberts the winner, Anderson the loser, Walls and Callison homing. Cardinals beat the Pirates 3-1, Bolio the winner, Friend the loser. Musial homer to win that ball game. Dodgers beat Cincinnati in the first game 10-1. Craig the winner, Hook the loser. Locker homered with 2 on. And Milwaukee at San Francisco, it's 0-0 at the end of 3 innings. Now we're ready to go. We've got a brand new day. We're on Saturday right now, and a brand new announcer, Mel Allen.
Remember me? I was here yesterday. In the 7th inning, Vic Power will be first up. Tito Francona on deck and Jimmy Pearsall to follow. The Indians leading by a score of 5-4. Yankees won the opener 7-6 in 11 innings. Power singled to center, beat out a roller to the mound, and flied to right. Jim Coates, the Yankees' third pitcher, right-hander, all set to work. Into the windup, and the pitch is swung on and pops in the air foul over near the stand. Skowron can't reach. It's out of play. Strike 1. 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Batting .299. Right-hander Jim Coates fires away. Swung on and fouled off to the right of the plate. Out of play in the upper deck. Strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Power wants to have Frank Dumont look at the ball. Dumont leaves it in. Before Cleveland, 7th inning. Jim Coates goes to the windup, and the pitch swung on. A bouncer hit out toward Richardson. Backhands it back. The bag throws to first in time. And there's 1 away. Now Tito Francona struck out, grounded to second, and grounded to first. That's him left-handed, hitting .293.
Coates' pitch swung on. There's a bouncer out to second. Richardson to Skowron, and Francona is retired. 2 up and 2 down. Now Jimmy Pearsall coming up. Walk, single to right, and walk. Hitting .298. Cleveland, 7th inning. Jim Coates into the windup, and the pitch is low, ball 1. One ball, no strikes. And the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and popped up into the air around the mound. Clete Boyer is under it, waiting, and takes it. The side's retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. At the end of 6.5 innings, Cleveland 5, New York 4. I know a lot of you folks have a favorite restaurant. Any of them would be mine right this minute. All of us are having thoughts of something to eat, and this game is over. I know you have a special place where the food's delicious, the atmosphere's just right, service tops. Wherever it is, whatever your favorite meal, I hope you'll be sure and ask for Ballantine Ale. Enjoy its big, big taste along with your meal. The big, big taste that comes from Brewer's Gold, a rare strain of hops used exclusively in Ballantine's own true ale recipe. You'll find Brewer's Gold makes Ballantine Ale more than a thirst quencher, different than any beer. Ballantine Ale not only gives your appetite a lift, it really brings out the best in beef, chicken, seafood, whatever you've ordered for your meal. Maybe a nice little Hasenpfeffer. Or a Welsh rarebit. Or a veal parmesan. What would you like? Whatever it is, ask for Ballantine Ale with Brewer's Gold. Discover what a difference an ale makes. Gil McDougall, pinch hitting, takes inside for a ball. He's hitting for Richardson. Gil batted for Bobby in the first game. Also in the 6th inning. This is the 7th now. 5-4 favor of Cleveland. Mudcat Grant's pitch is swung on and fouled off to the right of the plate, out of play. A 1-1 count. One ball, one strike. Grant's delivery is inside, ball 2, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Now the pitch. Swung on. There's the drive to deep right field, and that ball is going to be caught at the barrier. Marty Keogh grabbed a long liner at the barrier. And there's one away. Gill almost had himself a pinch hit homer. Just a matter of whether Keogh would arrive at that point in time or not. Dale Long is coming out to bat for Jim Coates. Long, a pinch hit in the first game for Turley and grounded to short. Pinch hit in the first game for Turley and grounded to short.
Dale Long, making his second appearance for New York. Left-hand hitter. Grant's delivery. Swung on and missed. Strike one. 0-1. And the one-strike pitch. Inside, ball one. 1-1. A 1-1 count. Wilson out talking to Grant. We haven't had it yet in any of our games, but one of these days, Cleveland has both Lee and Grant on the team. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike two. 1-2. One ball, two strikes. Grant's pitch. High and inside. 2-2. Five to 4 Cleveland, seventh inning. One out, nobody on. Grant ready. And the 2-2 pitch. Just outside for ball three. 3-2. Moss in the bullpen. A full count on Dale Long, hitting for Jim Coates. And the payoff pitch is inside for ball four. He lost him. Six passes the Yankees have had. They had 3 of them last inning. Howard hit into a double play to end the inning. The base is loaded. Now Cleet Boyer comes up. Struck out, grounded to third, hit a sacrifice fly to right. Boyer's batting .251. Grant's delivery. Swung on and missed. Strike one. Balls, one strike. 1 on, 1 out. Grant to the stretch, and the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike two. 0-2. He's humming the ball in there. No balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Swung on, fouled off right up here. 2-strike count. Grant sets, delivers. Pitch is swung on, hit up in the air down the left field line, and it is twisting foul and out of play. Count remains 2 strikes. Kubek on deck. No balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch swung on, popped up in the air, coming back and out of play. Count remains 2 strikes.
Here's the next pitch. Swung on, lined over short to left field for a base hit. Dale Long on his way to third. Here comes the throw. And into second goes Boyer, and he's safe. Dale Long reached the third, and Boyer took second on the throw from Francona to Delahose, who looked at third and then threw to second afterwards, but late. It's a single for Boyer. Takes second on the throw. Long going to third. And the batter is Tony Kubek. Struck out, popped to first, and popped to short. Indians leading 5-4 in the seventh inning. Kubek batting .281. The Indians play Phillips and Delahose in. Now Delahose goes halfway. The infield is halfway. Runners on second and third, one out. Grant's pitch. It's low and inside, ball one. A 1-0 count. Long leads off third. Boyer off second. Grant to the windup, the pitch. Swung on a high bouncer to second that plays into the plate, and the ball bounces away from Wilson. Here comes Boyer to the plate, and he scores. And there goes Kubek, trapped between second and third as Power recovered the overthrow and throws to Phillips. Phillips running Kubek back, and Kubek is tagged out finally by Aspromani, but 2 runs scored, and the Yankees lead 6-5. Throwing a wild thing, Kubek hits to Aspromani, who threw into the plate, and the ball bounced by Wilson, enabling Long to score. And then when Wilson chased the ball, picked it up, threw to the plate with Grant covering, trying to hit off Boyer as he sped onto the plate. He threw it by Grant. And Boyer scored. That's when Power picked the ball up. Kubek had rounded second and was trapped between second and third. Hector Lopez takes it low for a ball. So we'll get the scoring on that. Here's the pitch, high and inside. He went 4-2-1-3-5-4. Just one error on the play, and that was a throw from Aspromati into the plate. The 2-0 pitch is low, ball 3. The put-out on Kubek was 3-5-4, but the entire play and the handling of it was 4-2-1-3-4-2-3-5-4. Here's the pitch, and it's in there for a strike. I said one, meaning the pitcher, but he actually didn't handle the ball. It was thrown to him, but by him. To 5, New York. The pitch is outside for ball 4, and Lopez walks. Bringing up Mantle, who singled and walked twice. Batting .273. Batting .276. And the pitch swung on, fouled upstairs, strike one.
judge me the official score of both runs scored on the one error. As for Monty's throw, the bounce by Wilson. Mantle takes the pitch inside. Ball 1-1-1. One ball, one strike, 2 out. Grant delivers, and Mantle takes it high. Ball 2, 2-1. One count, 2 away. Grant ready, and the pitch. High, ball 3, 3-1. Three balls, one strike. Here's the delivery. High for ball 4, and Mantle walks for the third straight time. 4 walks issued by Grant. 8 the Yankees have had in this game. Had 3 last inning that did not enter into the scoring. Bill Scoresheet grounded to short into a double play, struck out, and grounded to second. Hitting .308. 2 on, 2 out, 2 in, 6-5 New York in the 7th inning. Grant delivers, swung on and missed. The throw down to first, and Mantle trapped off as Lopez was on to third. Phillips has the ball, running Lopez back to second, and then tags him out. And the side is retired. That went 2 to 3 to 5. 2 runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left on. At the end of 7 innings, New York, 6 runs, 5 hits, no errors, and 4 left on. Cleveland, 5 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, and 7 men left on base. We pause for station identification. He worked in the first game. And may I suggest that he try some Ballantine Ale? Ballantine Ale and baseball go together. You'll find Ballantine Ale really goes over big with any of your mealtime favorites, so try Ballantine Ale with Brewer's Gold. It's the genuine. Duke Moss, 4th Yankee pitcher in this game, comes in as we go to the 8th inning. McDougald, who batted for Richardson, playing second base, and Moss pitching. Moss worked 2 innings in the first game, the 9th and 10th, and retired the 6 men he faced. The Yankees won the first game 7-6 in 11 innings. Berra leading off in the 11th with his second home run of the game. Berra hit 2. Mantle, Scoresheet, and Howard each homered in the first game. Francona homered for the Indians, and in this game, Aspromonte and Serve have homered. As we move to the 8th inning, Marty Keogh leads off, Red Wilson on deck, and Jim Grant is the 3rd scheduled batter in the inning. Has a record of 2-1, making his 27th appearance this season. Marty Keogh at bat. A left-hand batter swings the first pitch, grounds it to Scoresheet, is up with it, outruns Keogh to the bag, and has 1 away. Now Red Wilson, fly to left center, fly to right, and drew past. Indian bullpen is busy, and we may have pinch hitter for Grant. Right now, Red Wilson steps in. Maz delivers. Pitch is swung on, hits the short. Kubek up with it, throws on to Skowron, and Wilson is retired. 2 up and 2 down. And let's see, Grant now goes to the bat rack. And he's going to come out and hit. Not a bad hitting pitcher. He's at 13 for 48, hitting .271. Ken Aspromonte on deck. Into the windup, in comes the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. 0-1 the count. Here's the 1-strike pitch. Swung on and popped foul. Out of play to the right of the plate. No balls, 2 strikes. Yankees 6, Indians 5. It's the 8th inning. The Yankees had 11 men go to bat in the last 2 innings. Only got 1 hit. 2 men caught on the bases. 5 had 6 walks and took an error for the 2 runs scored. 2-strike pitch, swung on and foul tipped into the mitt. Strike 3. Grant strikes out. Sides retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. And at the end of 7.5 innings, New York 6, Cleveland 5.
Say, fans, I have a mighty good suggestion for you, which I hope you'll take. Next time you eat out and you treat yourself to a thick, juicy steak, why not go a little bit further? Treat yourself to the big, big taste of Ballantine Ale with your steak. The big, big taste that's so good anytime, but especially good at mealtime. Here's a refreshing, deeply satisfying taste that's an exclusive with Ballantine Ale, because the big, big taste comes from Brewer's Gold. And Ballantine Ale is the only drink in the world that's brewed with Brewer's Gold. Yes, sir, you'll find you really get a drink that's more than a thirst quencher, different than any beer, when you enjoy the big, big taste with fine food. So ask for Ballantine Ale with your lunch or dinner and discover what a difference an ale makes. In the last half of the 8th inning, Bill Skowron comes up. Serve on deck and Howard to follow. Skowron grounded to short into a double play, struck out, grounded to second. Hitting .308. Grant pitch is low, ball 1. 6-5, New York, last of the 8th inning. And the next pitch is low, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. The 2-0 delivery. Slick out, sailed high and inside, 3-0. Grant goes to the rosin bag. The 3-0 delivery. In there, strike 1, 3-1. The 3-1 pitch. Swung on, there's a drive, hit deep to right field. And the ball is going to be gone for a home run for Bill Skowron.
Bruce collecting his second homer of the night. Hit one in the first game. Makes it 7-5 New York. 25th homer and 86th run batted in. Seven home runs the Yankees have hit tonight. 5 in the first game and 2 in this one. Bob serves, swings and fouls the ball back. Strike one. Next pitch is cut on and fouled back. Strike two. Skowron homered in the 8th inning of the first game. Oddity. Leading off in the 8th inning of the first game, he homered, and leading off in the 8th inning of the second game. Here's the pitch to serve. He swings and sends a high drive to deep left center. Pearsall way out there under it and makes the catch. One away. 7-5 New York. One out, and the batter is Elston Howard. Single to left center, line to left, and grounded to third in the 6th inning with the bases loaded and one out. Into a double play. Grant's pitch to Ellie is low, ball one. Grant's delivery now is in there for a strike, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the delivery. Swung on and fouled off to the right of the plate, out of play. Ball dropping into the lower stands behind the Yankee dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A 1-2 count. Jim Grant's pitch is swung on and fouled out of play, back to first up onto the roof. Next pitch is swung on by Howard, line down the right field line, foul out of play. Count remains 1-2. If any of you are wondering, there is no curfew, as there used to be on night games, except in special circumstances. Here's the pitch outside, bounces away from Wilson. 2-2. It used to be that no inning could start after 12:50. The one in progress could continue to its completion. That rule no longer prevails. The 2-2 delivery swung on and popped up into the air to third. Bubba Phillips moves under it in foul territory. Makes the catch. 2 down now, and here's Gil McDougall, who batted for Richardson in the 7th and sent Keogh to the right field barrier to take his drive. The only curfews that apply now in Baltimore. Here's the pitch, and it's inside for a ball. All night games in Baltimore must be called at 11:59 city time. The 1-0 pitch is low for a ball. In other words, no inning of a night game can start after 11:59 in Baltimore city time. The 2-0 delivery, low, ball 3. With the exception of a Saturday night game, if an inning is started before 11:59, it can be completed. On Saturday night, it has to be stopped at 11:59. Same thing is true in New York, Boston, Baltimore, Washington. Next pitch, inside, McDougall walks. 5 walks given up by Grant. And Duke Moss is due up.
A Saturday night game is played in Washington. Play must be terminated since the teams will be off the field by 2 in the morning. That's Saturday night, you know, for the Sunday curfew. Here's the pitch, and it's in there for a strike. Saturday night games at Yankee Stadium, Boston, Baltimore, must be called at 11:59. Otherwise, no curfew. Next pitch, high and inside. Ball 1, 1-1. Curfew will not ring tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs. The pitch to Moss, swung on and missed. Strike 2. New York 7, Cleveland 5. It's the ninth. It's the last of the 8th. There goes McDougal. The pitch is swung on, bounced high off the plate. Wilson grabs it, throws on to Power. Moss is retired, and so are the Yankees. 1 run on Skowron's homer, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. 10 of 8 innings. New York 7 runs, 6 hits, no errors. 5 left on. Cleveland 5 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. 7 men left on. It'll be the top of the Indian order as we go to the 9th. Aspromonte, Delahose, Phillips. In the American League, Chicago beat Boston tonight 9-2. Baumann beat Wilson. Baltimore took the twilight doubleheader from Kansas City. 2-1, Barber beat Garber, and 11-3, Wilhelm in relief of Brown the winner. Bailey the loser. Woodling homered. Washington nosed out Detroit 5-4. Ramos beat Bunning. Lemon got his 30th homer. National League, Philadelphia beat Chicago this afternoon, or yesterday afternoon now, 4-2. Roberts beat Anderson. Walls with 2 on. Callison homering. The Cardinals beat Pittsburgh tonight, or last night, 3-1. Folio beat Friend. Musial homered with 1 on in the 7th to break a 1-1 tie. Los Angeles defeated Cincinnati 10-1. Craig beat Hook. Larker had a 3-run homer. And in the second game of that twilight doubleheader, Los Angeles leads Cincinnati 1-0, 10 of an inning. Drysdale and McLeish. Milwaukee 2, San Francisco 1 at the end of 5 innings. Warren Spahn against George Miranda. Spahn seeking his 283rd Major League win in that one. In the 9th inning, Ken Aspromonte single to center, walked, homered, foul to the catcher. Hitting .303. New York. The Yankees won the first game 7-6 in 11 innings. Duke Mars goes for the windup. Here's the pitch to Aspromonte. It's in there, strike 1. Into the windup. In comes the next pitch. Curveball. It's in there. Strike 2. Nothing in 2. No balls. 2 strikes. The Indians in the dugout get on Umont for a call on the last pitch. 5 or 6 of them hollering out of there. No balls, 2 strikes. Moss goes to the windup again. Here's the pitch to Ken Aspromonte. Swings on it and pops it up in the air behind the plate near the screen. Howard moves back under it, and he's got it. 1 away. And Aspromonte throws his bat down and slings it over to the Yankee side of home plate. Away. And here's Mike Delahose. Grounded to second in a double play. Triple to center, double to left, and grounded to first. 2 for 4. Hitting .270. Dick Moss into the windup and the pitch. In there, strike 1.
0-1. One away in the ninth inning. Moss to the windup. Here's the pitch. The curveball low. Ball one. 1-1. One ball, one strike. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's bunted, and here comes Boyer up with it. The throw in time on a beautiful play. Clete Boyer broke in rapidly and grabbed the bunt off balance, flipped to first to retire De La Hoz. 2 away in the ninth inning, and here's Bubba Phillips. Fly to right. Sacrifice fly to left, double to left, and pops to second. 1 for 3, 2 runs batted in. Big power on deck. Yankees 7, Indians 5, ninth inning. Moss delivers. A little bit outside, ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. Now the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled back out of play upstairs. Strike one. 1-1. Moss to the wind-up, the pitch. Inside, ball 2, 2-1. Tried to curve, didn't work. A 2-1 count. Here's the 2-1 pitch. It sails inside the letters, ball 3, 3-1. Balls, 1 strike. Now the 3-1 pitch. Swung on, fouled off out of play, back to third, into the upper deck. Full count, 3-2. Full count on Bubba Phillips. Balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Big power on deck. Mars into the windup. Here's the pitch. Swung on and popped up into the air. Howard getting under it. Waiting. He's got it. The ball game is over. And the Yankees won them both. 7-6 and 7-5. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. And Duke Moss pitched 4 innings relief tonight and retired 12 men. He didn't allow anybody to get on base, is what I'm trying to get at. He pitched only 12 men, retired them all. So the Yankees persevere this evening to win 2. Keep pace with the Orioles, who won 2, and the White Sox, who won their game. Now, while we check the totals, you check your supply of Ballantine Ale. Ballantine Ale wins new fans every time it's served at mealtime. Even if you eat at 1 o'clock in the morning, which we're about to do shortly. Big Taste really goes over big with food. So be sure and try Ballantine Ale with your favorite meal before our next game, which will be this afternoon. Another doubleheader at 2 o'clock today. The totals: the Yankees, 7 runs, 6 hits, no errors, 5 men left on base. The Indians, 5 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, and 7 men left on base. The winning pitcher is Jim Coates, who wins his 10th game of the year. He's lost 3, and it is his first win since June the 29th. Whitey Ford went 4 innings, was lifted in the 5th. He allowed 8 hits and 5 runs. Ryan Duran worked 1 inning, and he was listed in favor of Coates in the 6th. Duran allowed 1 run. No, Duran was not charged with any runs.